Welcome. In this video, I would like to return to a topic that I have addressed previously, the formatting of a student paper in APA style. However, today I'd like to take a slightly different tack. I'd like to describe how I use a template to help me in ensuring that my title page, my body pages, and yes, even some of my references are properly formatted. I still rely heavily on the use of Zotero to insert my citations and references. So for today's video, I'm going to focus on the use of Microsoft Word in the formatting of the text, not the formatting of any peculiar citation or references. Here I'm displaying a Microsoft Word document that I created using a template that I built for myself. I'll show you the few pages that are in this document, then I'll zoom in so we can read the text together. The first page is the title page. The second page begins the body of the paper, and I've created a few first and second level headings to remind me of how to use the template. And then on the final page, I have my references. Now, it's quite possible that I will create more than just one of the body pages, but the template helps me get started nonetheless. Off camera, I entered example information into the title page, and you may note here that I've saved the document. I've named it Comp 123-1 Smith. This naming convention identifies the course, the number of the assignment within the syllabus, and my surname, John Smith, as I typed it in this document. This is helpful to your faculty to include the course information, the assignment number or name, and your name within the file name of the documents that you submit in response to assignments, unless the instructor asks for a different naming convention. Usually those who ask for a particular naming convention are going to include similar information anyway. All right, the title page is complete. You can see there's a page number in the upper right corner, title, student's name, university, name of the course, and its shortened, abbreviated identification, the name of the faculty member to whom the paper is being submitted, and the date the assignment is due. Now I'm ready to move to the body of the paper. So I want to repeat the title of the paper on the first main page of the paper, the first body page. So rather than risk making a mistake, I'm going to copy it from the title page, paste it here on the first body page, but then I've thought ahead when I created my template. I've created Microsoft Word styles that will make it easier for me to add a table of contents later on. So if I select this text here on the first body page and assign it the heading 1 style, I've created in that Microsoft Word style the instructions to add that text to a table of contents. So let me demonstrate that. I will insert a blank page right here. On my Mac, I use the keystroke Command return. On a Windows computer, I would have used Control Enter. And then I accidentally deleted it, so let me reinsert it. And now from my menu, I can insert an index and table. I want to create a table of contents from this template that I'm using, and click OK. So here are the headings that have been formatted using the styles that I created in my Microsoft Word document. Now, because I then saved that document as a template, I can open it over and over again, and I will always have the same configuration settings. So I'm now going to type some false text. I'm just going to insert some words to fill space. Now, if you notice that this next main heading is also formatted as a heading level 1, but this subordinate heading here is formatted as a heading level 2. Now, honestly, the names of these Microsoft Word styles are not that important, except Microsoft Word by default sets each of the styles that have the name heading 1 or heading 2 or heading 3. It automatically sets them to get included in a table of contents. So really, to create my template, all I had to do was change the formatting of the heading 1 through heading 5 styles. Now, notice that this main content 1 and subordinate content 1 are still on page 3 of my document, because page 3 now begins the paper. But the other headings are on page 4. If I go back to my table of contents and I choose to update the field, I can update the entire table, and now watch, some of these page numbers are going to change. So what was on page 3 is now on page 4. What was on page, some of what was on page 4 is now on page 5. If I go into my document and I add some more false text, and I'm just adding this text so that I can demonstrate the formatting of the document. I'm not really at all concerned right now what the text says. All right. Now, main content number 2 is on page 5. If I go back to my table of contents, main content 2 is on page 4. That's okay. I'll just update the table of contents. And now main content 2 is on page 5, and my references moved from page 5 down to page 6. So, creating an APA-style document, even if the instructor asks for a table of contents, is very straightforward if you start by using an APA-style template that's been properly formatted using these Microsoft Word styles. Had I not used the styles, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, 4, and 5, then I would have had to manually create the table of contents, and if I make any changes within my document, that move text from one page to the next or one page to the previous, I'd have to manually recreate the table of contents. So watch, I'll show you how this works and how flexible this can be. I'm going to change the text of main content 2, and I'm going to call it practice text. And I'm going to copy, or I should say cut it, and place it up here at the beginning, right after the introduction. Because here's the introduction, here's the practice text. When I look at the table of contents, it's still reading the data as it was. But if I update the table of contents, now practice text is on page 3, main content 1 is on page 4. So this is like having almost a live table of contents. I do have to manually choose to update the table of contents, but each time I update it, it reflects the current state of the text in the document. Now, if I were to delete text within the body of my document, and any headings were part of the text that was deleted, I can update the table of contents to reflect that those headings, those portions of my document, are no longer present. So I'll move down to page 4. I'll take all of main content 1, including its subordinate information, the subordinate content number 1 and number 2, delete it, and go back up to regenerate my table of contents. And you can see that what I'm left with is just the section called practice text and its 2 subordinate sections. So if I were to edit those, here I'm going to add some more random text. And I'll even add random text underneath the subordinate sections. Now, my text continues until page 6. The references begin on page 7. I go scroll all the way back up to my table of contents, and notice the table of contents does not reflect the current state of the document. There's a reason why I am harping on that point. I'll get to it in just a minute. So I update the table of contents, and now there are no new entries in the table of contents, but their page numbers have of the remaining headings in the table of contents, their page numbers have changed. Now, I have a caution. When using Microsoft Word to automatically generate the table of contents, it's really important that just prior to the final proofreading of the document, and maybe again just prior to submitting the document to your instructor, that you regenerate the table of contents so that you get the current page numbers for each of the headings that were used in the document. Now, I want to clarify 2 words that I've been using: heading and style. Because sometimes I can slip and I've heard other people do the same thing. They've used the word style when they really mean heading. Okay. A heading is an entry in the document to which APA formatting has been applied, and that indicates either a major or a minor portion of the document. So it's as if these are the same entries that I would have had in a table of contents. I name the document. So then my next paragraphs are the introduction. Then I begin the first major section or portion of the document. Within that portion of the document, I have a subordinate content. Some subordinate content. In fact, I have two of those. These headings are second level APA headings. The main portions of the document are identified with first level APA headings. So if you think back to the outline that you created, you have the major topics in your outline and you have the minor topics. In APA formatting, those are the first level headings and the second level headings. Using this template that I created in Microsoft Word, I named my styles heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, 4, 5, so that I have the major sections of my document. Now watch the text that I've highlighted. I've just now indicated to the reader that this is a subpoint, a minor section of the document. Now, by using this style in Microsoft Word, I've indicated that it's a sub-point. And you're not going to get me to make the same corny joke that I made in a previous video. But if you want the joke, go watch the videos. But I want this to be a major section in my document, so I'll assign the heading 1 style, which takes on the formatting characteristics of an APA style first level heading, heading 1. I hope this video was helpful. I recognize that learning to create documents in APA style can be challenging. There are many details that have to be learned. But formatting of the document can be made easier if in Microsoft Word a template is used and that template contains properly configured styles. So quite honestly, I'm cheating each time I create an APA document. I just open up the template that I created. All the formatting is built into the styles that are in the template, and I can just focus on the text of the body of my paper. I don't have to think about, well, what are the formatting characteristics of a first level APA heading or a second level or, God help me, a fifth level heading? I already thought about that. I laid the publication manual of the American Psychological Association open, and I used it to create styles in a Microsoft Word document. I then saved that document as a Microsoft Word template, and I can use the template over and over again each time I have to create a new document. So maybe you want to follow my lead on this and create a template for yourself. If you do, I hope you have a lot of success. It's a little bit quirky, but it's not hard to do. And I hope it makes all of your writing much happier. Bye for now.